Far away.
Cade, after watching the film, how would you assess your performance in the Georgia game?
I think that I took steps, kind of from last year to this year, just in terms of managing the game. And, one of our coaches, kind of gave me a good tip kind of for the season is, he kind of came and asked me, Cade, how many games do you have to win this year? And I didn't really know how to answer. And he said, you don't have to win any of them. All you have to do is manage them. So that's kind of been my goal, and that was my goal week one. It's going to be my goal every week is just managing the game the best I can. And but I think that obviously there's things that I need to get better at, but overall I feel like I've made a big jump from last year. But that doesn't really matter if I don't go do it again this week. So just trying to go be the best I can and go be even better than I was last week because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how good I do or anybody or any individual does if we don't come out with a win. So, that's the main thing that really matters.
You say you need to be better. What are some of the specifics you're talking about?
There's two plays where I kind of scrambled a little early. I think that was one of the biggest emphasis that I put on myself is just, hanging in the pocket, and I think that I did a pretty good job of that all game of kind of finding guys when I needed to and making a play. But not forcing it, but maybe trying to find a way to go get a few yards with my legs when I can. It's never something that you want to really force, but something that when opportunity comes, kind of letting my legs help us out a little bit. I'd say that's definitely one of the big ones for sure. And then, but I think overall, kind of my worst things I was at last year, I feel like I did a great job of kind of managing those. Or a better job this past week. So just hoping to go do that again.
We were talking about the ACC kickoff, just being a quarterback at Clemson and just all the noise and just dealing with all of that. I mean, after a game like that, how do you manage the noise and how much better do you feel like you can having been through a year as quarterback?
Yeah, I definitely feel better at it this year than I did last year just because I've done it before. And it starts with just kind of shutting off all social media after a win or a loss, right? Because, they're going to praise you when you're doing great and hate you when you're doing bad. So just turn all that off is big, and just listening to the people that, are in this building and listen to, my coach's opinions more than anybody. That's really what matters, and how I can be better and how I can make my team better. And so listening to that, and then honestly just – talking to the leaders of the team and focusing on that and not talking to anybody I don't really need to be talking to and giving much attention to people that I don't need to be giving attention to. So, and that was something that I learned, in a few losses last year that, I kept doing that when we started winning. It's not like when we started going on a stretch and started winning big games and stuff last year that, all of a sudden, I downloaded social media and started to see all this stuff and talking to people and trying to get all that. No, in order to, truly be successful, you got to clear all that out all the time. So that's been something that, obviously I've done the last couple of days, and I feel like, I've been way more clear-headed in a sense of after a loss like that and coming back to work on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and now Wednesday. So that kind of answer that.
What has been the message among the leaders of this team this week?
It's a long season ahead. And our focus is on a great team coming into Clemson this week, coming to Death Valley. App State's a team that, they've beat. I think it was Coach Sweeney said they've beat a ranked team. What was the last 3 years? 3 years in a row. So, to have a team like that come in, it's you can't overlook a team like that. It's a great team, and they won their conference last year, and so. Just really focus on them. But kind of the message has been, hey, we've got everybody we need. We've got all the talent we need, but just fine-tuning those details and in certain spots. But it's kind of like it's not like we're missing something. I feel like we have everything we need, and just got to go execute. And but just. A couple of guys have said it, and it's weird to hear probably from y'all's point of view, but I remember Tristan saying it first. It's like, hey, I believe in this team more now than I did before the game, because we're sitting there at halftime, neck and neck, and obviously offensively we didn't want to play the way we wanted to, but we were still putting drives together, and then we'd get a penalty or just some bad play, and we'd put another drive together, penalty, bad play, another drive, and but we're neck and neck with the number one team in the country, and they made plays that we didn't make on Saturday that we need to make, and they made them. So that's kind of the confidence that we have in the team is, hey, we can hang with those guys. We've got to hang with anybody, and just confidence going into the rest of the season. So.
Part everybody's talked about your leadership and how it's grown so much from the spring and summer and then into fall camp. And what kind of prompted you to get up after that loss and talk to your teammates and say, hey, stick with me. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, I just think that's kind of something I've always had. Taj Boyd says all the time, if you ask a group of people, if they think they're a leader, everybody in the room is going to say yes. But at the end of the day, they're all looking to follow somebody. And at the end of the day, Coach Sweeney talked to us, and then offensively, Coach Riley talked to us. And then after that, obviously, we're going to go talk positionally. Coach Riley talked to us. Coach Rich will talk to the tight ends whenever. But kind of after Coach Riley talks, we all kind of split up, and we won't get a time to kind of be together again. And I was just like, I got to say something. And I just kind of said what was on my heart, and because obviously, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off to lose a game like that. I've never lost a game like that in my life, and that's just frustrating. I hate losing more than anything. But we didn't. I just I kind of said it in the post game that I'm not going anywhere. I'm not quitting on this team, and I'm not shying away from this. And I just stood up in the moment, and and then Antonio spoke up too, and we've got incredible leadership. We really do. Like I've never experienced leadership in so many different spots, like a team like we have now, and that's going to show in the good times and the bad. So just really proud of those guys and the way they've stood up and been practicing the last 2 days. So.
I guess it's just obviously Coach Sweeney said it's just small mistakes. You said too. Just obviously that last year this was happening a bunch too. So that's like, can you put your finger on why it just continues to happen, where it's just like little details or penalties or things like that?
I can't really put my finger on it. I don't have a great answer for that, to be honest. Last year, it was turnovers, right? Last year was turnovers, and this year, I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's not going to be a thing this year. In terms of a couple MAs, and I think that just, I don't know. I don't have a great answer for that, to be honest. Yeah, sorry.
I guess it's just kind of, do you guys look at it in terms of Georgia is probably the best defense we're going to play, and kind of put that in perspective and say, it's as hard as it's going to be versus that team, and therefore we can move on. How do you guys put that in perspective?
Yeah. I think that, honestly, Georgia's a heck of a team and a heck of a defense. But genuinely, and they beat us that day. They beat us that day, and they played a better football game. And but honestly, the best defense I think we're going to play is our own defense. They do an incredible job of preparing us every day. So, but obviously, in play a team like Georgia, they're going to have a great team and a great scheme. And I kind of what I said. It's going to give us confidence the rest of the year that we can put drives together, and just got to really just when a big play happens, just reset and go finish the drive and go get some points. So, yeah.
I think Tyler Brown didn't get a catch in the third quarter, I guess. Was it something George was doing from his lack of involvement, or was it just, I guess, why wasn't he, involved more early on?
Sometimes that's just how the game goes. Look at the Super Bowl last year with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I don't know if y'all remember right before halftime, Travis Kelce going and cussing out Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes about why he's not getting the football. sometimes that's just how it is, and I think that, not one time, did Tyler come up to me, yelling at me, hey, give me the football, give me the football. Like, sometimes just how progressions are, there's just how sometimes it's not like I don't want to give Tyler Brown the football. I would love to give Tyler Brown the football. But sometimes, they're just covering it, and I don't think that they were really, it's not like they were double covering Tyler or anything like that. It's just sometimes how the game goes and how, plays are called, and how not necessarily that we're calling stuff to not go to Tyler, just the fact that sometimes just how progressions are and how the game is. And, they're going to, if he's the third read and they're giving us the first or the second, it's going to go the first or second. So it's just kind of how it went. And then obviously got a couple balls later in the game. But again, like, it's not like I got to the fourth quarter, I'm like, shoot, Tyler hasn't got to throw. Like, you started with the corner route. Like, that was the read, right? Corner came down, just basic smash concept, and it was there, right? And then just kind of how it was. So obviously we want to get the ball to Tyler Brown as much as we can, and we've got elite receivers, and we want to spread the ball around. But then you got a guy like Antonio, you just have a great game. He had a heck of a game, and so it's just kind of how football is sometimes.
On that same note, you guys rarely targeted the middle of the field against Georgia. Was that just looks that the defense was giving you, and do you see that changing against an App State defense?
Yeah, they're just, they're a great team in terms of walling, right? So their nickel and their safety, they'll kind of go with a two-tilt look, or their Mike, and their Mike will push out and their nickel will push out and kind of wall any in cuts and stuff. And we kind of knew that the outbreaking routes, it's kind of more stuff towards the sideline, and then some slants and stuff are going to be good for them. But they're just a team that they don't really want. They don't, like, if I'm the Mike and I'm pushing out pretty much a wall technique, is if you're the receiver and I'm over there, he's not letting you run in. So that we kind of knew that they're a team that, they're really good at kind of walling and not letting guys get to the middle of the field. So it wasn't something that, we were really trying to, like, if a team's going to play like that, we're not just going to try to throw over the middle all day. But sometimes, again, it's just how the game. Sometimes just how the game is, and they're also, more of a man team. They were playing a lot of two-man, so kind of the same thing. It's just, got both safeties over the top, and the corners and their DBs over the number twos. They're just gonna be walling. So they're not letting anything inside. So we kind of knew the outbreak and stuff was gonna be great for them.
On the topic of play calling, how do you feel like just the way plays were called just for the Georgia game in the beginning of this season kind of affected maybe the outcome of that game, or just look different from the past season into this season?
I thought Coach Riley did I like the way we called the game. I like starting with the ball, and obviously wish that, first 3 plays of the game, we just stopped ourselves. I thought that my worst, play of the game was the first play of the game. Just short-armed it. If you've ever played quarterback before, it's sometimes the short little easy dunks are just a little bit, short-arm-ish. But, I thought he did a great job calling the game, and, you can't put it on Coach Riley when we're doing self-inflicted stuff that he can't control on the field, like, a guy being off the line or stuff like that. So just kind of stuff that, player-wise, some of our guys just, got to just really fine-tune our details. So, but I've been loving Coach Riley. I thought we had a great game plan, and obviously just a couple things that we'll just keep working on. And but yeah.
What have you seen from the App State defense after watching film on them?
Yeah, they're a very well coached, very well disciplined team. Sorry. A great, just kind of very, very disciplined team. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're very physical and they're very active up front. Playing that 3 down front, and guys are gonna, they're gonna play the whole game with everything they have, and we know that they're gonna come in here with everything they have, and they're gonna give everything they got, and we're gonna go do the same. But they're just guys that they're gonna fight their butt off the whole game, and they're not scared of anyone, and that's a team where you got to go give it your all, because you don't want to end up like one of those teams the last 3 years. So you got to go give it your all and just keep fighting until the very, very last play because they're going to be. And but just they've got some great players on the other side and great players on offense. Obviously, their offense is explosive and got a great quarterback. So it'll be a. I think Coach Riley's gonna do a great job calling this game. It's gonna be great.
Any questions for Cade virtually? Anybody else in the room?
In terms of the offensive line, Matt Luke, first game, what did you like from the offensive line?
I thought they did great. In terms of, first of all, to let up no sacks against the number one defense in the country is incredible. Technically we had 2 sacks on paper. The first sack, they brought 7, and the 7th guy's mine, and I got to find a way to get rid of it. But they covered up their guys, and I got to find a way to get rid of it. Kind of the one that I scrambled out left and got sacked as I was throwing it. They had a great call on that play. We had a shot called, and if you sit back and watch it, Antonio was coming wide open on a corner route. So that one you're like, dang, wish I had another second or two, and they didn't bring that nickel. But and then the other one, there's 2 seconds on the play clock on 3rd and 22, and end up just having a draw. If you know anything about football, there's not a lot of great calls in 3rd and 22. So on your own 20-yard line. So just kind of had a little swing route. Probably could have thrown it to Phil right there, but end up just kind of having a draw, and it was a designed run, and they just kind of covered it up well with their twist. So I'm really proud of them, and I'm really proud of them sticking together. Obviously with Marcus coming out halfway through the game, I think we came in and just kind of kept it going. But in terms of, run the ball, just got to keep, putting hats on people and getting those yards. But I thought throwing the ball, I feel like, I kind of feel like I had all day back there. So really proud of them, and they've been working. So proud of them.
It's the first home game, and Deborah spoke a little bit this week about you only get 7 of these games. So kind of what's your mindset going in as a leader of this team?
What was the last part?
What's your mindset going in just as a leader of this team?
I love playing at home, especially a night game like that. And, I'm excited to obviously be back in Death Valley. Like you said, you only get 7 times doing it. So excited to get back there. And, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an incredible environment, and just excited to get back there. And, but at the same time, you got to focus on what really matters in the game, and, kind of go out there, smell the roses a little bit, and then, set the ball down and go play. So, yeah, it's exciting though.
Anybody else for Cade?
Hey, Cade, I've got one virtually. Sorry, Chapel with the state. Dabo talked about how at least the coaching staff kind of uses a touch chart to monitor receiver, running back touches and stuff. How privy to that, if at all, are you as a quarterback in terms of like target shares or everything? And how are you kind of thinking about spreading the ball out personally, like throughout a game as it kind of progresses?
I honestly don't pay a ton of attention. Yeah, I said that right. Yeah. Early morning. I don't really pay a ton of attention to that because, if I'm in the, second quarter and, somebody comes up to me and goes, hey, Tyler hasn't gotten a target yet. Well, what that's going to do is I'm going to be on the field and I'm going to be thinking all about Tyler when he might be the 3rd progression on a play, or, if we're in a just 2x2 set and I've got a 1 high side and a 2 high side and they're in 1 high, but he's on the 2 high side. Oh, well, I got to make sure I get Tyler a throw. Well, hey, look, my first progression, was wide open. Why didn't I just go throw that? So now I look back on Sunday and I'm like, dang, now I'm thinking all about Tyler or whatever it is. I'm just using Tyler as an example because I know he didn't get thrown until the last quarter. But obviously you want to get the playmakers the ball and have plays for them to go make plays, especially in space. I mean, you got a guy like Tyler who's elite at everything that he does. So we want to get him the ball as much as we can, but I think it's also great to spread the ball around for sure. I mean, that's what makes it tough on a defense is, when you have a great, not just one great receiver, but a great receiving core all over, right? And you're really getting to spread the ball around. They can't just double cover our single. They truly have to honor, our slot and our other outside receiver and our tight end and our run game, right? Being able to play the pass and the run is tough. So just having to do that. But I don't pay a ton of attention to the actual numbers of how many guys are getting as many targets. I've never even really noticed that. So, yeah, I don't know if that really answered it.
Yeah, that was good. Thanks.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Cade.
Thanks, guys.
This is Cade Lucas on standby.